Hello and welcome back to the Break the Cycle podcast. I am your host, Alice. I am a mindset and weight loss coach, and this podcast is for the women who are fed up of losing weight to then gain it, being stuck in this cycle of being in a constant yo-yo, all or nothing, self-sabotage. I help you break those cycles so that you can lose weight, maintain it, and have that effortless consistency in your life. In this episode, I am going to walk you through why you struggle to be consistent with your weight loss, with your fitness journey, even though you know what to do. I have been coaching women for the last 4 years, and I hear a lot of women tell me, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. And this can be so frustrating because often you don't know the reason why you're doing this, and it is a form of self-sabotage. You know you should be strength training, you know you should be eating in a calorie deficit, you know you should be getting your protein in, your water, your steps, all of this. You've done various programs to try and, get in a consistent routine with this. It's not that you need more knowledge. You know what to do. It's not that you need to know a better way of doing these things. It's actually doing it consistently that you struggle with, and being able to maintain this routine and being able to follow through on the things that you say that you want and doing the things that it takes to get there. Now, this may shock you, but it actually does not come down to having more discipline, more willpower, more motivation. You know, the girls that you see online who are consistent with their routine, with their eating, with their habits, they are not more disciplined than you. They do not have more willpower than you. Discipline, motivation, and willpower are emotions. They are feelings and they are temporary. They come and go. Some days you're going to feel more motivated than others. Some days and some times of day you're going to have more willpower than others. We can't rely on these things to be disciplined or even to be consistent even. And we can't rely on these things to actually follow through. They can't determine our follow through rate. So what is the gap between knowing what you need to do and actually doing it? Not a lot of coaches are talking about this, but I am here to bridge that gap. This comes down to your beliefs and your identity. So what you believe about yourself, what you believe about your capabilities, and what you believe you deserve. It really goes as deep as that. And this probably isn't conscious right now. A lot of what we believe is in our subconscious mind through past experiences. Something like 90 to 95% of our life is from the subconscious mind, and a lot of our behaviour is automatic because of that. Our beliefs are the foundation. Our beliefs form our thoughts, what we're thinking every day. Our thoughts form our feelings, how we feel. If you are thinking, can't be bothered with this today, or you're thinking these thoughts of, I just would rather sit on the sofa, and watch a couple of episodes tonight than go out and get another 5,000 steps in. And then that feeling is created by that thought, and that feeling is feeling a bit demotivated, feeling tired, feeling stressed. And then the action is to not go out and follow through on ticking the boxes. It stems from what you believe, though, and when we dig deeper into your subconscious beliefs about why you might not feel good enough to have the weight loss, you might not feel worthy of having the weight loss, you might not believe that you can maintain it, and therefore your mind will think, well, what's the point of us actually putting the effort in? Because deep down we don't believe we're going to maintain it. So then it's kind of acting out of those beliefs, and the mind loves to prove itself right. So if you deep down believe that you're not going to maintain it, or you are always going to fall back to a previous weight, or you're always going to gain the weight back, you're going to find it hard to stick to your weight loss and to stick to a fitness routine and a fitness journey without self-sabotaging. And so when we deal with these subconscious beliefs that go below the surface, we start to challenge them, we start to question them, we start to change them. It can make taking action a lot easier, because when your beliefs line up with your goals, you believe you're going to get there, you believe that you're capable of it, you believe that you're worthy of it, and so your actions are going to show like that because your thoughts will think in that manner as well. It's about lining everything up. So beliefs, thoughts, feelings, and then actions. If one of those, but it starts with your beliefs, if your beliefs are really not in line with the actions that you want to take, you're going to hit a wall quite a lot of the time, and you're going to come up against mindset struggles like all or nothing, like self-sabotage, and your mind's going to convince you to do things like not go out and get your steps in, skip a gym session, overeat on the weekend or get a takeaway when you know you've got something prepped. Your mind is convincing you to do these actions because it is acting in accordance with your beliefs or your lack of belief in yourself, in the journey and in the process. So how do we actually change them? Like I say, it goes a lot deeper than just having a training plan, having a meal plan, and getting your steps in, because you can have the plan, but if you don't believe you're going to get there, then you are going to self-sabotage, or you may get the result and then you don't believe you're going to sustain it, and so you will backtrack. You'll start to slip up on certain things or not tick the boxes. And so this goes deeper than just surface level plans, which is why I'm so passionate about helping you with your mindset, with your subconscious mind, with the things that are deeper rooted, because that's what is going to enable you to be able to stay consistent, follow through with things, and start questioning the action that you're doing right now, whether it is overeating, whether it is, missing out on your steps each week, whether it is skipping gym sessions here and there. Ask yourself, what feeling is driving this? And then it might be stress, it might be overwhelm, it might be low motivation, or feeling just a little bit low and like what's the point? Then what thoughts are coming before those feelings? Probably the ones similar to what I've just mentioned. I can't be bothered. What's the point? I can't do it today. I don't have time today. That's a big one. That's a sneaky form of self-sabotage. Those thoughts are leading to your feelings, which are leading to your actions. Then it's time to question those thoughts. Why don't I feel like I've got time? And ask yourself, why? Writing that down is so powerful, because when you ask yourself, well, why is that a problem? Well, why do I do that? Well, why do I do this? And you get curious, rather than being critical to yourself and beating yourself up and getting frustrated, you will find that you can go a layer deeper each time. Every time you ask, well, why am I doing that? Well, why am I doing that? Well, why am I doing that? It will get to a limiting belief underneath the surface. For example, I don't have time. If you ask, well, why am I doing that? Well, I feel like if I put the time in, I am not going to get the results anyway. Well, why? Because I've done it in the past and it's not worked out. So why is it not worked out? Because I don't believe I'm capable of it. And that's a very it may take longer than that because it may not be as apparent, but that's just an example of how a surface level problem can actually, and often is, deep rooted in a limiting belief about yourself. And once we deal with that belief at the subconscious level, it really does impact effectively the thoughts and the feelings that you're feeling on the surface, and then you act differently in accordance to those. Now, the second reason why you may know what to do right now, but you're not doing it consistently, comes down to your identity. So your identity is how you see yourself and what you believe about yourself. So identity and beliefs are quite interlinked. Your identity is how you see yourself, your self-concept, and the type of person that you see yourself as, the type of person that you believe yourself to be. Again, this can be subtle and we're not always conscious of it. But if you deep down, if you've repeated the same patterns for years and years, you tried to lose the weight and you maybe lost it and then gone back, or you tried, you failed and you've gone back, or you tried and you always come up against self-sabotage when it comes to overeating at the weekend, you are forming an identity of yourself. You're constantly forming through these experiences how you're seeing yourself. And so if deep down you see yourself as the type of person that is all or nothing with their fitness and with their weight loss, or you see yourself as the type of person that always gains the weight back, this is going to shape how you behave as well. Because if your identity and your goals are quite different, you're going to struggle to get to those goals with the current level of identity that you've got. So let's say your current goals, wanting to lose 20 pounds, keep it off, be able to go for meals out and holidays and not spiral afterwards, be able to try things on in the changing rooms and not go into a panic and just want to go home, be able to try things on and love the way that you feel in yourself, and have this food freedom and have this trust that you can handle any situation that comes up. That's the desire. But secretly deep down, if you see yourself as this person who does struggle when they go out for meals out, and that they are always going to have this issue when it comes to food and food taking up a lot of their headspace. If you see yourself as someone who has a massive sweet tooth, then you're surprised why you can't control yourself around sweet things. Well, your identity is rooted in, I've got a massive sweet tooth. So then your actions lining up with that. If you see yourself as someone who can't keep the weight off, then when, losing that 20 pounds is going to feel quite unrealistic, because deep down in your mind, you identify with the version of you who can't keep the weight loss off. And so can you see how the way you see yourself is massively impacting the actions that you take, and the actions that you take consistently? Up until now, you have probably been focusing on quite surface level changes, on quite conscious changes when it comes to, right, what diet do I need to do to lose weight? What foods do I need to eat and not eat? What exercises do I need to do in the gym? What habits do I need to implement? These are all great and they do make a difference. But when they're not paired with changing your beliefs and changing your identity, it's going to be hard to maintain this long term. It's going to be hard to see the progress, lose the weight, and then be able to keep it off for good, because we need to be making sure that your identity and your belief system is not rooted in the old you, because the mind loves to go for what's familiar. And right now, what is familiar to you is the all or nothing cycle, is the self-sabotage, is the beating yourself up after going out for a meal and overdoing it. That's familiar. And so it's quite unfamiliar to your brain to be someone who doesn't spiral after eating out, who can go shopping and not feel annoyed and frustrated and down because she doesn't like how she looks in any of her clothes. That's unfamiliar. And so therefore the brain likes to attach itself to what is familiar, the current beliefs about yourself, your current identity. And so when we start to challenge those, it can feel uncomfortable, but it's what's necessary to make your new identity, your new beliefs that line up with your goals. We want to make them familiar. We want to make them safe to the brain and be like, look, I know we're not used to this, but this is what is going to help me maintain the weight loss. This is what is going to help me reach my goals and have that long-term mental and physical transformation. So when we're doing that deeper work alongside the training, the nutrition, everything can line up, everything can start to align. Self-sabotage decreases, consistency becomes a lot easier, and you're able to maintain it, and you know what to do, and you're able to follow through 9 times out of 10. And so working with the subconscious mind is the key to long-lasting results. When we shift your identity, when we rewire your beliefs, and when we interrupt the patterns that are running your life right now, we can start to create new patterns, new beliefs, and new identity that is rooted in your dream outcome, the version of you who has lost the weight, who has the food freedom, who trains at the gym consistently, runs consistently, has a consistent and healthy routine overall. You're able to achieve that real behaviour change, and therefore you're able to achieve the results that last. And this is why a whole pillar within my programme, the Mind Body Method, is dedicated to your mind, is dedicated to your identity, your beliefs, and interrupting those patterns, so that when we start to make progress, when we start to see the weight loss, your mind is on board. You're like, okay, yeah, this is starting to match the version of me who I believe I am. Because we don't rise to the level of our goals. We don't always reach our goals just because we set them. We rise to the level of our identity, our beliefs, and our standards. And when we start to change these, taking action becomes automatic. It just becomes the new version. And you don't have to try so hard. It becomes more effortless because your mind is on board. If this episode resonated with you and you have tried all the plans and you still self-sabotage, you still end up yo-yoing with your weight, then I would love to hear from you. Just drop me a message and I would love to see how I can help you on your weight loss journey and how we can get your mind on board to the goals that you desire. I'll see you in the next episode.